So everyone's talking about the new Cloverfield movie, the Cloverfield Paradox, and how it like kind of sucks. So I heard all that negative news and stuff, and I didn't watch it because I really don't care. I'm not a big fan of the Cloverfield franchise. I mean, I like the first movie. I have it on Blu-ray, and I like the second movie as well. Second movie, whatever second movie made, and it's not a sequel, but it's like this whole whatever you want to call it, anthology, confuses me Gulliver. So I didn't see it. I don't know if I intend on seeing it. But I did see High and Low last night. It's an Akira Kurosawa film from the 60s. And it was pretty good. I liked it a lot. 8 out of 10. It I'd probably say it's the weakest film I've seen by Kurosawa so far, and that would be rivaled only by Throne of Blood. But the thing I can say about Throne of Blood is that I'd give it about the same rating, like an 8. But Throne of Blood had tighter plotting and it had a greater idea of knowing what it was and generally having a consistent structure and tone. Whereas High and Low, I can say this about High and Low. First 50 minutes are cinematic perfection, 10 out of 10, amazing. And so are the last 10 minutes. Fantastic, no complaints. But everything in the middle of all that just kind of rides the line of mediocrity. It never gets bad or anything. I mean, this is a really well shot film with great actors and some pretty interesting characters. And even when things in the script start to really lack, there's a bit of a lull in the story. Kurosawa's brilliant direction always makes it at least somewhat intriguing, somewhat investing. And I'm talking about when there are uninspired lines of exposition, which are in the film. And normally, for this film, judging it on its own, they wouldn't be anything too bad that I would really get too upset over. The thing is, this is a Kurosawa film. Kurosawa is the man. He was one of the masters of film, and I've come to expect a lot better from him in that regard. That being said, as much as I would rank it as like the quote unquote worst, it's not even bad. It's, dare I say, a tad bit above average, maybe 8 out of 10 is like an average rating, but it rides that line of being a little bit more excellent, like Throne of Blood. But even though it would rank pretty low on the Kurosawa filmography that I've seen, which is only about 6 films, so I'm not in a place to say that it's his worst film. Far from it. I would say that it's kind of one of my favorite films by him because the great parts are really, really great and they had me very invested. And even the parts that lulled a little bit, I was kind of getting into. And I found myself a lot more invested in what was going on, more so than Throne of Blood, and more so than Rashomon and Seven Samurai, even though those are better films. I could see myself watching this in the future a lot sooner. So it's I feel like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place with this one. Um, it's weird to say like, oh yeah, it's the weakest Kurosawa film I've seen, but it's also one of my favorites out of what I've seen. It does not come close in either quality or enjoyment for me to Yojimbo and Ran. Those films are just perfect, amazing, love them. 10 out of 10 masterpieces, flawless. Have no issues with them. Could watch them over and over and over again. They are expertly crafted films. Some of my favorites of all time. So it's a very high standard, and High and Low absolutely does not get to that level. But it's honestly, it's still a good movie, and if there's any like one gigantic compliment I can give to it, it's that I can't think of anybody I wouldn't recommend it to. Like it kind of is a film that is that accessible and that enjoyable to vast groups of audiences. So, good film. Really, really good movie. I might even buy it on Blu ray. I liked it that much. again, it's very uneven in the script, and the middle of it has some structural problems. But I can tell you that I enjoyed it a whole lot. So check it out if you want, or don't. Who cares?